So I've been getting this YouTube recommendation a lot for a coding challenge for falling sand, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to try to implement this myself. I haven't seen this video, and I'm already I can already tell that it's probably going to be doing something different than what I plan on doing. Talking about in the description about cellular automata. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, but that sounds pretty cool. Probably not what I'm going to be doing, but maybe I can watch this video after I try to implement this myself and see where I went wrong. I think that'd be cool. Most of this is going to be some longer form kind of style things. This one should just be kind of short, kind of a planning phase to kind of explain what I'm going to be doing, what kind of tools I'm using, and how I plan on going about this. Okay, so let's check it out. So let's see. Let's talk about some stuff. So I'm going to be making falling sand. Basically, this is just a pixel simulator, right? Oh, if I can only type. It's a pixel simulator that reacts to the objects around it. Tools that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using Rust and SFML. If I look at my other options, well, I want to use Rust because it's performant. It's, it's trendy. I feel good writing in Rust, if I'm being honest. I look at all these other languages and some of them just don't feel good to write in, like Java feels horrible to write in. Go is fine, but it's not low level enough for what I kind of really want to do with this. I kind of want to be in the weeds trying to figure this out. C, it's cool. Too low level for my taste. C++, it's 2025. We are not writing new projects in C++. What other languages would I even try? Python? Python too slow. Bad suggestion. SFML, I'm going to use SFML because it's pretty standard. Most languages have bindings for it. I'm somewhat familiar. There was a class that I watched that was recorded by a college professor. It was like a video game design course, and it used C++ and SFML. Let's see if I can do a quick search. What is it called? No. Not that. This guy right here. Comp 4300. I kind of followed along with this by Dave Churchill. This was really cool. I took only maybe the first 4 I kind of paid attention to and followed along. And then after that, I kind of just went off and did my own thing. This is really cool. I'd really recommend watching this and kind of paying attention to it if you want to learn some game design and definitely some SFML. I do know that Rust has SFML bindings, but most languages will, which is useful, if you want to port this anywhere. But back into languages, if you're following along, you should use whatever language gets you excited to program. That's really all this is about, is I'm coming here and having fun. And if you don't want to use SFML, you can use whatever graphics library your language supports. I know there's a lot of different ones. Like I could look up a Rust game design or a game library. I think that's a little overkill for this kind of thing. All I'm trying to do is just print pixels to the screen and have them move around. You know, that's not too complicated. I don't need a whole video game library for this. So here's my plan. We can plan. It's gonna go wrong, but we can at least start. And write tests. Boom. I'm gonna write an interface for SFML. I'm gonna write user interaction in the window. It's kind of a 3-step thing. It's not gonna be that complicated. You know, that's really all that there is to this project. I don't know how many videos I'm gonna make of this or how long it's gonna take me in total. But we'll see. Could be a long time because I'm still learning as this is going. So it could take a long time, or it could be quick. Okay, so something that we kind of want to talk about is the architecture, how we're going to kind of, work on this stuff. Obviously, we're going to have our window, which will be SFML in real time, but also under the hood, what really is this? At least for our purposes, this is just a 2D vector. So all we need is just some kind of 2D vector representation. Maybe we'll need something like, drop sand in this column and advance frame. I think that's really going to be the only two functions that we'll need. It's going to be something like, I don't know, let's name this like drop sand in column. It's going to be column, it's an int, 64, we'll make this kind of big. And then we can do color, I don't know, the SFML color, maybe? I don't really know, we're gonna have to check out the SFML library, it's been a minute for me. And then we're gonna have advanced frame, excuse me, that is my cat meowing, she is, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but she is very needy. Let's make this more idiomatic to Rust. We're really gonna only need these two things in our window, at least how we're gonna keep track of this on the back end. Now, what are we gonna be putting into this window, into this 2D vector? It's probably gonna be a 2D vector of pixels, right? Or 2D vector of a pixel. So what is a pixel? There's a couple different ways that I was actually thinking of how we can implement this. The first way was I could do, right, struct. This is kind of pseudocode, but I could struct pixel, and then I could do like color I could do, X and 64, Y and 64. This sucks big time. This is horrible. Why is this bad? Because then the pixels don't really have an idea of where they are around each other, right? So if we just had like a ton of random pixels just fucking sitting out there, and we just like a huge 1D vector of just a shit ton of pixels, that is not going to help us at all, in the slightest. A better way that we could do this is we could do just struct pixel color SFML color. This is better. And then we would store these in, let's see, yeah, let's show how we would store these. I would just store these in This is the vector pixel. This is how we'll store that. And then this would be stored in vector, vector, pixel. So you can already see this is better because the actual index of the pixel is stored in the location that it is in the vector, right? So that they can see like what's around them a lot easier. We can just index through and we know where things are. But I took another look at this, another thought about this that I had today. And I was thinking what would be even better would just be a vector of strings, right? Because when we're holding on to this under the hood, all we really need is the color. So we can see, like, let's say we have a 3x3. We just do, that's what it looks like at the start. And then if I drop a green in the middle, it'll look like that, right? And let's do the next one. Oops, let me format that a little better. Right, like if I can keep it just like this on the back end, and this seems like much more of a simple way to kind of reason about this and kind of even see it. You know, when I have to print this out later, I can just print the vectors and it'll be fine. I don't really need to worry about doing any kind of conversions or any weird thing. I guess the conversion I will have to do from G to SFML color green, or I don't know, whatever this syntax is. But you know, like that's really the only thing I have to do. I have to convert it when I'm actually passing in my window into my SFML interface. And that's really like all that I think that there is to this. Let's go back to SFML real quick. I said a lot of good things about this, you know. Really, this is not that important. If we make this an interface and define some traits, that's what they're called in Rust. Make this interface define traits, then this can be anything. I may even show how useful it is to make an interface for this, because then we could swap out whatever we wanted. Maybe a cool thing to see. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going to have. And then my main will just be like, what do I call this? Glass tank. This is pseudocode, I'm right. GT, it's a tank full of glass. We can do while, SFML, window is open. I don't know what that actually looks like. I'm gonna have to do some study. I can do GT dot advance frame if keyboard dot get key down equal to G. I don't know. It might look something like that. I'll do GT dot, what do I call this? Drop sand in column. Actually, what I could do, I don't even need to do this. I don't even need to do. I could do while. Maybe not while. If, right? Then I could do mouse dot get x. I don't know what this looks like. Then I could send in keyboard dot pressed. Then I'm like sending in the string. And then I got to do all my, you know, interface that. Draw a window. I'll draw pixels. And I can just send in my GT. It's kind of basically what my main's going to look like. A lot of this is going to be kept in the glass tank. And I'm going to be having a lot of unit tests for this too. So most of this will just be working on the glass tank and kind of trying to figure out that stuff. And then once that is all figured out, then we'll do my interface for SFML. And yeah, we'll run it and see if it looks pretty. We'll iterate on it, try to make it better. Maybe we'll switch out the interface for a different kind of library. And then after that, I'll finally watch the video that I mentioned earlier. After that, I'll finally watch this video and see how it differs and see if I'm actually doing any cellular automata, whatever that may be. All right, I'll see you in the next one where we will start writing unit tests and set up everything else.